Do you want to know how to improve your art and design skills? Or how to analyse a work of art like a true critic? The secret to this is the visual elements. There are 7 of them: line, shape, pattern, tone, form, texture and colour. Today we are going to focus on colour. Our choice of colours and the way we use and combine them has a huge influence on the art and design that we create. Used correctly, colour can create visual impact, draw our attention and provoke emotion. Ever wondered how designers and artists find the perfect colour combinations? They use colour theory. To understand colour theory, the best place to start is the colour wheel. In 1666, Isaac Newton mapped the colour spectrum onto a circle, creating the first colour wheel. The colour wheel is the basis of colour theory because it shows the relationships between colours. We start with the primary colours. They are red, yellow and blue. These colours cannot be made from any other colour, yet we can create almost any colour using them. Roy Lichtenstein often used primary colours in his works. In this silkscreen print, the use of bright red, blue and yellow make a striking image that stands out to the viewer. Secondary colours are made by mixing equal amounts of primary colours together. So, for example, blue and red make purple. Yellow and red make orange. Yellow and blue make green. A tertiary colour is made by mixing primary colours and secondary colours together. There are lots of different names for these colours, and people often have different names for the same colours. When in doubt, it's often best to use the other colours to describe them. For example, this colour here could be called turquoise, but it could also be called blue-green or green-blue. In this painting, called Woman with Parasol, Paul Signac creates a vibrant, vivid image by using pure, contrasting tertiary colours. That is, tertiary colours that are opposite each other on the colour wheel. The 12-part colour wheel can be split in half into sections of 6. 6 warm colours and 6 cool colours. Warm colours remind us of things that are warm, the most obvious being fire. The warm colours are orange, red and yellow. Cool colours remind us of things associated with cold or the absence of heat, such as ice. The cool colours are blue, green and purple. For example, Monet's use of lots of blue in this painting makes the scene feel cold, reminding us of that cold winter feeling. Have you ever heard the phrase, green with envy? If you have, you'll probably already know that colour can be used to communicate our emotions. Artists and designers have been doing this for centuries to make us feel a certain way or to communicate their own feelings. Colour is very subjective, and how you interpret colour can depend on your personality or the culture you grew up in. Let's take the colour red as an example. The colour red can have many different meanings. Often we associate red with danger. It is the colour of blood, and as a colour it grabs our attention. Red is used all over the world for warning signs and to tell us to stop. However, it can also have positive associations. In the West, we associate red with strong emotions like love, passion, and anger. The colour red is everywhere on Valentine's Day. On top of that, we also see red as a festive colour, the colour of Christmas and Santa Claus. On the other hand, in Eastern countries like China, red is associated with luck, long life, and happiness, and it's often the colour traditionally worn by brides on their wedding day. Okay, we're nearly there. Just a few more key words. The first is hue. Hue is the name of the actual colour. So the colour in its purest form. So red is a hue, green is a hue, yellow is a hue, you get the idea. Now, there are also some colours we have not covered yet, and you have probably noticed them off to the left-hand side. So we've got black, I've mixed up some grey, and we've got some white as well. These are neutral colours. We use neutral colours to change the colour without changing its hue. So, by adding black or white, we can change the value or the lightness of a colour. When adding white, it's called a tint. So pink is a tint of red. When we add black to a colour, it's called a shade. You can see that these two are still red. They are still the same hue, but we've got a lighter version now and a darker version of it, but it's still a form of red. Saturation is about the brightness or dullness of a colour. So the red here is a very saturated red. It's very clearly a purer red. It's very hard to make a colour more saturated, but we can very easily make it duller by either adding grey or by adding the opposite colour on the colour wheel. So for red, the opposite colour would be green. Again, you can see that these are still the same red, but they are less red. There's less red in it, it's less saturated. This painting of a sunrise by Claude Monet is an excellent example of saturation. The sun has been painted with a really strong saturated colour, which makes it stand out really brightly against the dull grey colours of the background. Over the next week, try looking out for the different ways artists and designers use colour. You could even try making your own colour wheel. Don't worry, you don't have to use paint like I did, you can use almost anything. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for listening.